east of the riverbed. And we're taking fire from the west. Roger, stand by, we're popping smoke. Look for the smoke. It's going to be a red smoke. It's going to be a red smoke.
Okay, cool. Later. Oh. I'll be right back, sis. Wouldn't you want to live here? You can go on a run, you pass this, we can hit the ocean, come back through a wooded area. Let's get everything. I'm an English major. My master's is in education. I can make you some really great manipulatives to learn how to read, learn how to count. How to run a business has been a whole new ballpark. Running is a piece of ownership. There's no labels. What I can listen to on the radio is different, but my identity as a runner doesn't change. The purpose behind why I run changes, but running still is putting one foot in front of the other, owning a distance, and pushing forward.
Do you want on your pancakes? Ketchup?
No.
Mustard?
No. Syrup.
Syrup? That is so boring.
That was so boring.
What? It's joke. So no ketchup?
Is that my other one?
Yeah, but it's got to take another minute. Can you take 2 hands to the table? Oh, get down, please. 2 hands to the table, please.
Okay. No, Mom, I'm balancing.
John and I went to St. Agnes Catholic School together, and then when we were in high school with our church, we went to Mexico and we built houses. We worked together the first day and we built 7 frames of a house together. He went home after that trip and he told his dad that Lisa Garner, she's a real go-getter. And then I went home and I told somebody that I was going to marry John Hallett and have his redheaded babies. Yeah, go-getter marriage, and I won. But we always stayed really good friends. He went to West Point for college, and we were friends. We corresponded back and forth. But I always knew that I was going to marry John, and I did. You have a nose too. She wants to show you your nose, babe.
No.
So on July 11th, we took maternity pictures, just John and I, and it was like our last date. And we did them on the beach. It was neat. We went out for coffee afterwards, the sand on our toes. A friend watched the boys. Seems silly to be sad about a meal, but I hate sharing food with John because he eats so darn fast that I am not done with my food and he's already eaten more than his half. So John was very frustrating to share food with, but I remember us laughing over he ate more than his half of the sandwich, and I was pregnant, and that was not well received. But it's all those little silly moments that make marriage really special, and those insider moments. Marriage should be your most intimate relationship. John's an amazing leader because he's really compassionate about the men he leads, and so he walked into that deployment having read dozens of books about Afghanistan, the culture, war, and the nature of the beast, and really forging solid relationships with the men with whom he was working. And I know his wife, and he's my husband, so I am extra fond of him. But John was a very good leader.
117 Infantry Battalion, 5th Stryker Brigade, out of Fort Lewis, Washington, deployed to southern Afghanistan in July 2009. My husband was the Alpha Company commander. 5 weeks into the deployment, and just 3 weeks after the birth of our 3rd child, my husband, Captain John Hallett, was killed. I felt a grief and a pain that I could not escape. I turned to my only coping mechanism, running.
Nothing's a release in the beginning. It was what I knew how to do. I knew how to run. Sarah was very intimate. I feel like the most genuine grief is, it's awful. It's snot and slobber and just something, just this deep angst that comes out of you. And that is not something that's public to me.
They read off a paper and they said the Secretary of Defense regrets to inform you that your husband is believed to have perished. And then they go on and, is there anyone we can call, ma'am? I said, no. What can we do? Can we get you a ride home? And I said, I need to be with my kids. And you don't really think it, but they said that word believed. It's not definite, it's believed. And I took Heidi, kind of shaking, and I just walked out.
There's 3 types of tears. There's one general, we lubricate our eyes. The second is that you get something in your eye and then it pushes it out. And then the third tear is that emotional tear. And that tear, that sad tear, that tear of happiness, it has the same chemical or similar chemical composition to sweat. And so you might not be crying through your eyes, but you can be crying through your sweat. And I think that's comparable or a piece of what I do.
Are you sure John died? And he said, yes. Yes, John died. And there was a moment that John lived, and that there's a moment that John died. And that separation is just overwhelming to think that there was a moment before John died. And then I don't know what happened after that.